Hi guys, it's Dionne Smith, Cantu's natural hair education expert. Today I am joined by my lovely panel of guests who I'm going to get to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
Hi, I'm Shornell.
Hi, I'm Shomi.
We are gathered here today to talk about our natural hair journey, share our thoughts and experiences. We're going to get straight into it. So ladies, what has been your personal hair journey thus far?
For me personally, throughout my teens, I relaxed my hair and I wanted to transition, and I found the lockdown was a perfect opportunity to do so. So I let myself transition, learn to love my hair, what worked well for it, and it's been really great so far.
Yeah, it was a good choice to take the lockdown as that opportunity to do that. Was that because of work or?
Yeah, so naturally I was on furlough like most of the country.
Right,
so
right.
It just made sense.
Amazing. And yourself?
My natural hair journey, I've always been natural, I've never relaxed my hair. But my journey with my hair is more so learning to style it in its natural state. Because growing up, my hair was always blow dried or straightened or stretched. And I think now I'm starting to learn how to style it when it's curly, when it's wet, and just sort of experiment in that way.
Amazing. So embracing your natural hair textures. Yeah. And yourself?
Mine's a bit similar. So
Right.
I've never relaxed my hair or anything like that. But I grew up doing a lot of cornrow styles, braids and things with a lot of high tension. Then eventually I got traction alopecia. So I started doing softer styles that accentuate my actual hair texture.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Sounds good. Has anybody actually had the big chop, and if so, why? Any of you had the big chop? No. Okay, well I did. So I'll talk about mine. What made me do the big chop? Do you know what? It's really weird because my story is a little bit different. I didn't do it because I was trying to go natural. I think I felt the pressure of, I kind of fell into this basket of everybody knows Dionne as a natural hair expert and a natural hair stylist and a natural hair. And then I was rocking like weaves and relaxers. I even had dreads, but that's a little bit different. And then I was like, well, I'm doing natural for everybody else, so it kind of makes sense to kind of go natural. So my decision was actually based on that okay, she's a natural hair stylist, but she doesn't have natural hair. So it was like, okay, I need to embrace it as well because I'm doing everybody else. So I decided to do the big chop about 5 or 6 years ago now, because I'm forgetting about the pandemic. Yeah, about 5 or 6 years ago, and I just embraced it. And ever since, I've just been like, why did I even relax my hair in the first place? It really wasn't necessary, but at the time, you just think it's easy. So that's what kind of made me do mine. So how do you approach your natural hair regime on a daily basis? Like, what's your routine?
I try to go for low manipulation style, so something where I can sort of tuck my hair away and not have to worry about it throughout the week, especially with work. Going into the office, the last thing I want to do is have to add time in the morning to sort out my hair. So I try to have styles that I know, let's say if it's like mini twists or cornrows or something, I know that in the morning it doesn't take a lot of time, and then let that last for about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks if I'm really not up to it, and then sort of just going from there for the next hairstyle. But I kind of have to plan in advance.
Yeah. I totally get that.
I do the same thing. At most, I might just put on a bit of mousse or a bit of water to kind of spruce it up a bit, but I don't really want to do much in the mornings. I just do a style once a week and I'm good to go for the rest of the week if I've slept with my hair wrapped up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's always an important part in terms of the longevity of a style, covering your head at night so that it lasts. And what about yourself, Keisha?
I like to do a lot of wash and goes.
Right.
So I usually in the morning I'll spritz it with some water and then I'll use like some curl activator just to give it a bit of a spruce. I try not to add too much product because otherwise then I have to wash it more frequently.
Right.
But that's about it really.
Do you find that like because you're obviously doing the wash and goes and you're having your hair out and it's drying naturally, does it get drier throughout the day? Are you having to top your hair up, or does it kind of last for the day and then you can kind of revisit it the next morning?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't have to top it up. I'm fine. I can just revisit it the next morning. As long as I put my bonnet on or use a scarf, I'm all good.
It's always the key, isn't it? The bonnet and the scarf. We need it in our lives. I'm going to ask you to describe your hair in 3 words.
I'd say versatile, expressive, and beautiful.
Yeah, I like that.
I would say stubborn, doesn't always do what I want it to do. It's resilient, and multi-textured. I've got different textures.
Yeah,
all
that's
over.
quite common though. Most people have more than one texture.
Yeah.
I mean, I done a demo with Keisha yesterday, and we noticed that she had 2 different textures on her hair as well.
I'd say bouncy, sometimes chaotic, but very lovable.
Oh, yeah. What would I say about mine? I would probably say thin, unruly. What else? But it is beautiful. I do like the coil pattern in my hair. I get quite nice curls when I wet it down and add product to it. So that's what I'd probably say about mine. And then I'm going to move into my next question. Have you experienced any specific hair or social challenges since being natural?
I think myself, it would be work, because it's still...
It's always the workplace.
It is because it is, like I work in banking,
Right.
and there aren't a lot of people of colour within my office, and so it's difficult for me to determine what is deemed professional or not, because a lot of people don't have to think about their hair, but we do, and it is such a big part of us. So I'm like, okay, I've got to wash and go. If I go in, am I going to get pulled aside, or is this going to be okay?
It's really crazy that we have to even think like that.
Yeah.
But I think in the corporate world, that is like, yeah, it's something you could just have to consider.
Yeah.
It's really, really crazy. What about yourself?
I also work in banking as well, and again, similar to Keisha, in the corporate world, especially when you don't see a lot of people that look like you, I think it's very easy to stand out, especially your hairstyle. As a black woman, you know, our hairstyles automatically stand out to everybody. So you walk in a room and people notice your hair. And I think, like Keisha said, for me, it's knowing what society, I guess, deems as an appropriate hairstyle for work is always tricky, but I try to break the rules. I mean, not necessarily rules, but I try to always step out of that comfort zone and wear my hair the way it wants to be worn, and just sort of deal with what comes with it.
You know, every time I think about conversations like this, I think about, what if there was no way of actually manipulating our hair? What if we just had to go with what God gave us? Yeah. Like, does that mean we're not going to work? Does that mean we can't have certain kind of jobs? It's a you know, it's a deeper thought, but it's something to kind of think about. What about yourself?
How much time do you have? Do you know?
Not much.
One like defining moment that I remember was when I was young. Actually, I was in primary school, and I wore my hair in an afro, and all the kids were like touching my hair and stuff like that, and I was a bit uncomfortable, but I wasn't like that bothered. But then the teacher was like, okay, do you know what? Your hair's causing too much distraction. And then she put me at the front and she told everyone to touch my hair. And I remember feeling so uncomfortable. Like, I didn't have the vocabulary to describe how I felt or why this wasn't okay, but I felt so othered as a child. So then from there, I really wanted my hair tucked away, just so that it's not distracting. And so that's one, like, I think, defining moment with my perception of my hair.
I really find that strange that people always want to kind of put their hands in your hair. I don't get it. Like, what are you feeling for? What is that about? It's really strange, isn't it? But that brings me on to my next question. I mean, at the moment, you know, natural hair is a major thing and people are embracing their natural hair more. So what's your thoughts on the fact that women are wearing more natural styles than ever before now? How does that make you feel in the world today?
Love it. I love it.
You came straight in.
Because what I love about it is that knowing that the next generation of young black girls will grow up with mums who are used to natural hair. Because I think a lot of, well, I'll speak for myself, but growing up, you know, it's always been a case where your hair is supposed to be stretched out. Your hair is supposed to, like, your Sunday best hair is blow-dried hair, hot combed hair, you know. And so we now have to learn our natural hair. And I think for me, the idea of young black girls growing up with mothers who have learnt their natural hair and are willing to spend time on their daughter's natural hair, I love that.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a powerful point. And I think just seeing it more, you know, I mean, we see dolls now. There's so many things that are empowering young girls. And I love that. I mean, I think if I was in this generation now, I would have probably been a lot more confident with my natural hair before. And I'm a hairstylist. It's not like I don't know, do you know what I mean, how to. But I do feel like I would have been a lot more confident. I would have probably gone natural a long time ago. You know, if I'd seen more of it embraced. But it was always like straight hair, long weave, slick. and that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
I particularly like the fact that we're seeing a lot more type 4 representation. I mean, although like all curls are beautiful, absolutely all curls are beautiful, but I feel like as someone who has type 4 hair, when it's not represented, it really does make you feel like a little bit, it makes you feel insecure about it. If it's not displayed all over the media, it's not beautiful. So it's really nice to see that out there. Me be like, oh, she's got full B hair. I've got full B hair.
Yeah.
She loves her full B hair. I love my full B hair.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, they've still got quite a way to go, but I do feel like we're slowly getting there. Yeah. Because I know what you mean. It's like a lot of the times when you do see the textured hair, it's always the softer curl or the looser curl. Yeah. So it's nice to see the kinks and the coils and, that sort of coming into play.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed seeing more people, embrace their natural hair and learn it. Because I think initially we're kind of taught that it's something that you have to get rid of, you have to avoid it, you have to wear something on top of it, it can't be presented. It's childish. There's a lot of stigma behind it. Like, you'd go to the hairdresser, they wouldn't want to do it. They'd advise you to do something else to your hair. And now seeing that, even this discrimination that goes on with natural hair, you're less likely to get a job. If you go to an interview with your natural hair, you're more likely to get kicked out of school and, all these horrible stories. The more people embrace it, the more normalized it becomes. So, it means that corporations are more open to it because it's not so obscure to them anymore, because more people are wearing it in the streets, and teachers are not feeling offended by children wearing it as much because they see it as more normal. And even the way that we talk about it ourselves, we're learning ways to manage our hair better, so we see it as less impossible to do and it's more of a feasible option. So I think it's really good, really empowering that more people are embracing their natural curls.
And thank God we've come a long way. Which leads me into my next question, which is on a bit of a happier note. What's your favourite hair hack? Do you have one?
I try to, like I mentioned about low manipulation hairstyles, my favourite hair hack is to do hairstyles that can become other hairstyles. So, for example, 1 week you've got a mini twist, and then next week it's a twist out, and then the week after it's a puff with little twisty curls. So I try to make a hairstyle last as long as possible, so that I don't have to always have my hands in my hair. Oh,
that's a really good hack, actually.
Mine is weekly washes.
Okay.
I think before I didn't, because my education to natural hair is very new. I thought that the less you wash it, the better. So now that I wash it weekly, it means that I don't have to wash as thoroughly. That it's much easier to style once it's washed, and it's just a breeze now. Because before I used to spend time fighting my hair, and all the time detangling. And the more often I wash it, I barely have to detangle or anything like that. So it's just.
And that's because of the frequency of
it's just much easier.
Yeah. What about yourself, Keisha? Anything to share?
Mine one's quite a new one, actually. I've started doing recently. And it's finger detangling instead of going straight in with a brush. I used to just go straight in with a brush, and I used to have so much shedding. And now if I finger detangle first, I find I have not nearly as much shedding.
Okay, no, that's a good hack, actually. Yeah, I always prefer to go in with my fingers first and just kind of loosen the hair, then with a wide tooth and work my way down to the finest tooth. So yeah, that's a really cool thing. My next question is, what would you say to your younger self, going back some years, what would you say to your younger self today, with all of the experiences and everything that you know now?
Be yourself, because I think in hiding my hair, it was just making me a bit less myself, because I knew naturally I did want to flaunt it, but then I felt a bit intimidated by my surroundings.
Yeah.
So I'll just try and talk myself out of that.
Yeah, that's really strong.
I'd say what I'll tell myself is it's okay to not follow the hair trends, because my mum never let me follow hair trends. I was always the girl that had her 6 plaits in at school, and I always wanted to, do the slicks and, do the buns and stuff. And now I'm thankful that I didn't go through that, because I probably would have experimented until my hair fell out. Yeah. So I think what I'll tell myself is it's okay to not have to do that.
Yeah, I like that. What about you, Keisha? Anything?
I think mine would just be that your hair is beautiful. It doesn't have to be a certain texture or a certain length to be beautiful. All hair is beautiful, and I think had I had that drilled into me when I was younger, I wouldn't have taken so long to love it.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm similar to you, like just embrace what you have. Doesn't matter if it's short, long, what texture it is you, it's what you've been given. Just make the best of what you have and keep it healthy, you know? So yeah, that's what I would definitely say. And I think that kind of leads us to our just wrapping up. Is there any final thoughts or anything you want to share before we close up our conversation?
Black girls, love your hair. It's beautiful, honestly. It was given to you and it is the way it is for a reason. It shouldn't be changed. Your hair is perfect for you. That's what I would say.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.
I would just
Anybody
say
else?
it's called a journey for a reason. Allow yourself the time and you'll get there.
Yeah.
And you're always learning new things.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say learn and accept your hair, because I feel like we're kind of encouraged to not learn our hair, to just learn other things to do to our hair. I think it's just important to learn your hair, have knowledge of it. You know, whatever you want to do is fine. You can be as versatile as you want with different kinds of styles, but as long as you're not stuck in those styles because you don't know what to do with your hair,
Yeah.
you know, that's really important.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think learning your hair, understanding your hair type is going to go a long way, especially with like your product choices, the kind of hairstyles that you choose, learning how the weather affects it, your environment affects it, all the different things. So I think that once you master that, it's going to help you to make better choices. So just embrace what you have. And remember, nobody's you. And you can be you. You can come with all the different trends and the looks, and you can even be the trendsetter. So don't be scared to experiment. And especially when you're young, this is the time when you can like really do what you want with your hair. I think as you get older, it gets a bit more like, okay, I kind of have to think about this, but have fun, enjoy it. Be Sandra today, Brenda tomorrow. Just love who you are. And yeah, I just want to say thank you, ladies. It's been an amazing chat. I hope you've enjoyed it. And
Thank you.
yeah, thanks for joining us.